takeover. President Trump says the USA will run Venezuela after an audacious operation to capture the country's leader. After a barrage of missiles, US Special Forces grabbed President Nicolas Maduro whilst President Trump watched on TV.
The first attack was so successful, we probably don't have to do a second, but we're prepared to do a second wave, a much bigger wave, actually.
Also tonight, a criminal investigation opens into Switzerland's deadly New Year's bar fire. And
the World Darts Championship!
Teen darts sensation Luke Littler has retained his World Championship title. Good evening. Donald Trump has pledged that America will run all of its vast oil reserves until the country transitions to a new government. It comes just hours after the US president launched a dramatic operation to remove the head of the old government, President Nicolas Maduro. Under cover of darkness and a barrage of missiles, Maduro was plucked from his fortified home in Caracas to be taken to the US and charged with drug trafficking and terrorism. Here, the Prime Minister said the UK would shed no tears for the end of Maduro's illegitimate regime. But he also reiterated his support for international law, which some experts say the US has breached. Here's our US correspondent, Dan Rivers.
From president to prisoner, this was Nicolas Maduro entering American custody aboard the carrier, the USS Iwo Jima. The lightning raid to detain him had involved 150 aircraft under the cover of darkness. US air power taking out Venezuela's defences. A small contingent of special forces then fighting their way into the presidential compound and taking Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores. Tonight, President Trump gave details about the mission, which he watched in real time.
Thank you very much. If you would have seen what I saw last night, you would have been very impressed. Our military, working with U.S. law enforcement, successfully captured Maduro in the dead of night.
What's left of his regime is striking a defiant tone, claiming the USA is involved in regime change.
La inmediata liberación.
We demand the immediate release of President Nicolas Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores. The only president of Venezuela is President Nicolas Maduro.
Nicolás Maduro.
But President Trump is threatening further military action if she doesn't comply with his wishes.
She had a long conversation with Marco, and she said, we'll do whatever you need. I think she was quite gracious, but she really doesn't have a choice. Threatening not only our people.
After all Donald Trump's campaign promises to put America first, tonight foreign intervention is back on the agenda.
We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transitions.
His Secretary of State gave this stark warning to other dictators.
He could have been living somewhere else right now, very happy, but instead he wanted to play big boy. And so now, he's got other sets of problems on his hands. And but I think the message here should be for the world. Look, the president doesn't go out looking for people to pick fights with. He's not, generally wants to get along with everybody. We'll talk and meet with anybody, but don't play games.
And the language from this administration is becoming ever more blunt.
He effed around, and he found out.
But those who know Venezuela intimately wonder where this is all leading.
What comes next? All the group of people around Maduro are still there. Is the military remaining loyal?
Venezuela's opposition leader, Maria Corina Machado, issued a statement saying, "The time for freedom has arrived. Today we're ready to assert our mandate and take power. Let us remain vigilant, active and organised until the democratic transition is complete." But this isn't just about restoring democracy. It's also about Venezuela's vast mineral wealth.
We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure, and start making money for the country.
For now, the streets of Caracas are subdued. Venezuela is being dictated to not by Maduro, but by a new boss, President Trump.
So, Dan, where is Nicolas Maduro now?
Well, he's just arrived in New York City. Remarkable scenes as he was escorted, cuffed and hooded by federal agents, it appeared, into a warehouse. We understand he'll appear in court on Monday. The charges he'll face have been revealed in the indictment, which has been unsealed here. They include narco-terrorism, weapons charges, and cocaine importation. The Attorney General Pam Bondi has said he will face the full wrath of American justice on American soil in American courts.
Dan, thank you. The owners of a Swiss bar where 40 people died in a fire are now the subject of a criminal investigation. The husband and wife are suspected of committing homicide by negligence after the blaze in the early hours of the new year. Meanwhile, the fire chief, who was the first on the scene, has given a tearful account of what he saw. Amy Lewis reports.
All they can do is pray and try to be patient. For Joel Ray, it has been agonising. His 24-year-old daughter, Caroline, was in the bar that night and is still missing. You have to imagine that I am just in survival mode, and there is this terrible feeling of helplessness. The fire started in the early hours of the new year in this basement bar. Around 40 people died, and more than 100 are injured. David Fokar is the area's fire commander and was on duty that night. In his first interview, he has told me he instantly realised the severity of the situation and called for further support. What was going through your mind when you first arrived?
I arrived there, it was like a war, You have people, young people, they scream. I never saw that in my life, and it's really, really difficult because if you make this job, it's not to see something like this. You see people, they are all burned, and they scream, they're lying on the floor, and you have people who comes and take you and come there, and what it was really, really important is then the people help each other to come out.
His team were the first on the scene. In total, 50 of them were at the bar, and they are all volunteers. How proud do you feel of your team?
Me, it's like my family. I'm really proud of them because they did a really good job. And that's the most important things. Those guys, they just give everything to help the people.
Do you want to carry on doing this job?
I don't know. Because what I saw and what they saw, it's just horrible. And when I think about the family, it's just really difficult for me. And I'm really thinking about them, and I hope they will be okay, but I think it will be really difficult for them.
This community is grieving, but it is also feeling grateful for the heroes who risked their lives. Amy Lewis, ITV News, Cran, Montana.
The search for a missing person in the sea off the East Yorkshire coast has been stood down. 2 bodies have already been recovered after reports that a teenage girl was swept away by a wave at Withensea yesterday. Coast Guards and police spent the day searching in snow and bitter cold, but were forced to stop at dusk. Finally, he's done it again. 18-year-old Luke Littler has retained his World Darts title. The teenager thrashed the Dutchman Gian van Veen in the final 7-1. It's the first successful title defence in a decade. Here's Chris Scudder.
Enter the teenage champion, but Luke the Nuke made a nervy start, a succession of misses, and he lost the first set. But then everything changed. He found his range, and a 170 checkout reeled in the Dutch challenger. The 180s were relentless. Time and again, maximum scores thrilled the crowd. The only trouble for Littler came from the Ali-Pali wasp that's buzzed around the players all tournament. But then the young Englishman simply swatted away Gian van Veen with 7 straight sets. The Dutchman looked thoroughly fed up. And, well, he might. This was a thorough thrashing. The young prince, who fell just short, aged 16 2 years ago, is now the undisputed king of darts at 18. Only the 4th man to win back-to-back world titles, and you wouldn't bet against many, many more to come. Chris Scudder, ITV News.
Congratulations to Luke Littler. And on that winning note, that is it. The weather forecast is next. But from all of us here on the Weekend News team, good night.
Visibility may be